Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Pastor Larry, and today is Wednesday. It is June the 2nd, and I'm happy that you're joining me for another day of devotion. Let's just jump right in today. I'm going to take you to Philippians chapter 2, verses 14 and 15. Paul is writing this, and he says that we should do everything without grumbling or arguing. Do everything without complaining. Another translation says, do everything without grumbling or arguing, so that you may become blameless and pure, children of God, without fault, in a warped and crooked generation. I don't know about you, but that's a pretty high standard to live up to. But Paul said it's possible that those of us who claim to know Jesus, who follow him, can reach a place in our life where we can become pure children of God without fault in a warped and crooked generation. And we can do that when we overcome our need to grumble, argue, and complain. I believe there's a lot of spiritual reasons and there's a lot of practical reasons why we shouldn't spend our time grumbling and complaining. There is a doctor, his name is Dr. Travis Bradberry. He wrote a book called Emotional Intelligence 2.0, and he's done a lot of research in the area of complaining. And what he says is that repeated complaining hardwires the brain to do, guess what? More complaining. In other words, the more negative you are, the more likely your brain is going to be triggered to continue to be negative. So when all you can do is sit around and complain, basically what you're doing is you are hardwiring your brain to create more areas and more avenues for you to complain and complain and complain. See, this was the problem with the Israelites in the Old Testament. They were negative when they were in captivity. They were negative when they became free because their negative mindset trained them to be even more negative. And a negative mindset is incredibly dangerous. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go through my life with a preconceived mindset to find the negative and to find the bad. It doesn't take much looking around the world right now to know that there's already enough bad in our world. But I want to train my mind to find that which is good, to find that which is pleasant, to find that which is helpful, to find those things that are hopeful instead of always focusing on the negative. I believe Paul might have said something like this in our modern day language. He might have said this, that if you can change your circumstances, if there's something negative and you can do something about it, then do something about it. If there are negative circumstances in your life and you have a solution that can change that, then do something about it. Something that's not right, something you wish you could change, something you could do something about, then instead of complaining about that thing, go ahead and do something about it. Because in other words, we're not going to go through life and pretend like everything's okay, because you and I know that everything is not okay in life. It's not a sin to notice that things are not right and things are not well. But when it boils into sin is when we begin to complain and when we begin to grumble and when we begin to become negative about every single thing that is happening to us and happening around us. It's a little bit like Nehemiah in the Old Testament. Nehemiah recognized that the walls of Jerusalem were torn down and he got upset about it. But guess what? Nehemiah didn't spend his time complaining about it. He prayed about it. He gave God his complaint. And when he gave God his complaint, the next thing that happened was God gave him a plan. And when God gave him a plan, he began to act on the plan that God had given him. And he made a way for Nehemiah to go and do something about what he saw was wrong in the world around him. He gave Nehemiah a plan and Nehemiah acted on the plan. Why? Because there comes a time in my life and there comes a time in your life when we have to stop complaining about things. We have to take it to God in prayer, take our complaint to God in prayer, and then wait on God to give us a plan, wait on God to give us a vision, And then when God responds, you and I can't sit around and continue to complain. We've got to get up and act on the plan that God has given us. Because when Nehemiah acted on the plan that God had given him, the wall around Jerusalem was rebuilt in 52 days. What had laid waste for 52 years was rebuilt in 52 days when a man decided, I'm not going to complain about it anymore. I'm going to get up and do something about it. I want to encourage those of you who are watching me today. Listen, right here this morning, we could find reason to complain. Listen, my light went out. The battery on my light went out. And so your video changed right in the middle of it. But I could find reasons to grumble. I could find reasons to complain. I could find reasons. But listen, you've got to keep moving forward no matter what is happening around you. And you have to determine and make up in your mind that you are not going to spend the rest of your life complaining about everything that's going on around you. Listen, the world is inundated with negativity. The world is inundated with people who have learned and have mastered the art of complaining. What the world needs are voices that will rise up in hope. What the world needs now are some Nehemiahs who will take their complaint to God and wait on a direction and wait on a vision and then rise with purpose and begin to respond. Listen, it's one of the easiest things in the world to do is sit around with other people and complain about everything that's wrong. We can complain about everything that's wrong in our world right now, everything that's wrong in our nation right now, everything that's wrong in our government right now, everything that's wrong in our neighborhoods right now. We can complain about it, or we can rise up and we can believe God to make us part of the solution and make us part of the answer. I want my mouth to be filled with praise because my negative mindset will be hardwired to complain more and more and more. I don't want complaining to be the first option that comes out of my mouth. I want praise to be the thing that comes out of my mouth. I want God's purpose to be the thing that comes out of my mouth. I want His vision to be the thing that comes out of my mouth. I want my heart to be consumed with the goodness and the greatness of God. I want to see the solution as bigger than the problem. And the only way I can do that is to close the mouth of complaint and open the mouth of thankfulness and gratitude. Man, I know things aren't all right. I know we've got a lot of issues in our world, and many of us have a lot of issues in our personal lives. But guess what? We have a lot to be thankful for. We have a lot to be grateful for. And I choose today to rise up and let praise come from my mouth. I am not going to contribute to the chaos around me with a negative tongue and a negative mind. I'm going to rise up and give praise to God. I hope you'll join me today in giving praise to Him, in thanking Him, and in praying to Him that He could make me part of the solution for the things that I see that are wrong and broken down around me. Help me to be a rebuilder, God. Not just a complainer, not just one who notices fault, not just one who can point out everything that's wrong, but allow me to be a rebuilder of your purpose. Don't let me grumble and complain, but with a thankful heart, let me rise, put my hand to the task that is in front of me, and be the change in this world that I long to see. I hope you'll join me in that today. Thanks for hanging with me. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. We're praying a great and wonderful day for you today. God bless you as you go about your day.